Hello. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me today. The lighting's a bit better today, actually. I'm just trying to switch things around and get the right lighting. So welcome to today's live. I have done a Sunday and a Thursday, but I'm coming to you today on a Tuesday. So I thought, let me switch it up a little bit. My name is Sophie, and my channel is all about hair care, hair wellness, and hair growth. So, for those that have caught my videos before, you may know that I'm going through a growth journey where I have suffered several things like traction alopecia, psoriasis, and many other scalp issues. So, today, last week I spoke a lot about, or the last 2 weeks, I've spoken a lot about DHT. Hi, Miss Rebel Jewel, how are you? So I spoke a lot about DHT in my past couple of lives, and that's one thing that's really important in the I believe in the natural hair world, because that's something that we're competing not only with sebum, but we're competing with. So basically, sebum is something that everyone gets on their scalp. It's like a build up. And what happens because of the texture of our hair, when the hair more curlier or coilier or kinkier, as they say, then the sebum should ideally travel down the whole hair strand, but it doesn't do that for us. It actually stays on the scalp. It doesn't travel where it needs to be. So then when we have DHT, which everyone gets DHT, so DHT is like something, it's more hormonal. So that is another thing we have to compete with. So I spoke a lot about that, and I actually have been using the Groganics range. So if you're someone that likes to use more independent companies, I'd say do your research and really check for something where that has the elements that can block the DHT, that's more natural. I haven't found something yet that does that. But there are plenty of places out there. I just need to do my research. So I use Groganics, and I've been using basically this shampoo. So this shampoo, I used this on my Sunday wash day, and it felt so incredible on my scalp. It felt like a cooling sensation on my scalp. It just felt really refreshing, and I felt like my scalp got that clean that it needed. I know a lot of people recommend co-washing. I don't recommend it, especially not for our hair type. The reason why I say that is because of the sebum buildup. And also, if our hair is prone to DHT, then we're just causing ourselves more issues and not clarifying our scalp. So I know a lot of people do recommend oils, but there's so many stylists out there, natural hairstylists. I used to work in a hair salon. There's many people that will oppose against not shampooing their hair regularly. So I personally do recommend shampooing regularly. So today I'm actually talking about actually having a staple routine in place. So I'd say I'm at the beginning of my journey. I know there's many people that have flourishing hair, and my hair's everyone's hair's different. My hair's quite fine textured, but my hair I am noticing a massive difference in my hair growth in general. The lighting's not great here, but my hairline has picked up massively. My hair used to be like non-existent around here. So I really found that putting that staple routine in place really worked for my hair recovery. So I'd say I'm in the beginning of my journey because I mean, normally it takes like 5 years to really get that full hair growth potential if you're sticking to a staple routine. I wash my hair every week. I do a deep condition, and I do a hot oil treatment before the whole process of washing as well. So I keep in the staple routine. So the importance that of having a routine, not only that, keeping the basics. If you're starting your hair journey like I am, I'm only 9 months in my journey, no, 10 months in, we're in October, I'm 10 months into my journey. I don't really like to experiment. I have used plenty stuff before. I've used things like the rice water. I've used onion juice. Onion juice is something that was recommended to me years ago by an old hairdresser. I used that. I used rice water and onion juice together. I wouldn't recommend that. It just smells. So I've done those together, and that's a big concoction of a mess. So it works for some. I know rice water works well for some, but because I'm starting out the journey, I don't really like to experiment too much. I like to get that basic correct so my hair knows what it likes first before I go on to the next step. So at the moment, I can see, I've been into shops and stuff like that. So I can really see, I think my screen's moving about a bit, sorry. I can see a lot when I'm going into the shops. I've noticed that the shelves again are clearing out, and I'm getting scared. I'm like, oh no, like I need to stock up. So these are things that I stock up in my cupboard or in my bathroom as essentials. So you might want to do something of your own. I do recommend researching independent businesses, and I will be posting links of Black-owned businesses as well. I do normally do this. I do use Cantu, but each to their own, but I am going to post independent businesses where you might want to try them rather than the ones I recommend. But I do say keep the basics in your cupboard, because we don't know what's going to happen. Everything keeps changing at the moment with the whole COVID. So I'll start with the oils. So the one thing that I keep in my cupboard, I mean, most of us do, right? Olive oil. So olive oil, I consume this. I not only consume this, but I use it for my hair. Olive oil is one thing that stimulates hair growth. It also locks in moisture, so it helps keep the hair moisturized. So that's one thing I keep in my cupboard. I keep quite a lot. I keep like at least 2 bottles. So this is one that's independent. This is by Genie. So this is coconut oil. This is Caribbean organic virgin coconut oil. This smells divine. It just smells so beautiful. It smells like you're in the Caribbean. Genie is from the Caribbean, and this is something I'd recommend. Her products are amazing. I actually got some soaps from her and stuff like that. So I'm going to link her stuff. I'm going to link her shop link. I always use her stuff to actually incorporate into my own DIY, but I do use it independently as well. And then I've got a few more jars in, but this is what it looks like. So you can just use it. Even if you just want to use it on your hair, like without mixing it up, you can do that. I know a lot of people have like intolerance to coconut, so I'd say do a patch test before you use it, just in case, and then just see how you go. So the shampoo, as you've seen, I use the DHT. I use 2. Oh, hey there. Hey, nice to see you. Hi, nice to see you, Travel. I hope you're well. So This is one thing that I use, the Groganics. I also use herbal essence, the aloe and hemp. The aloe and hemp really stimulates my hair. I can feel it really clarifying my scalp. It has helped my psoriasis, so I do love to use that. So you can use any shampoo you like. Again, I'm going to link independent businesses so you have that option. So daily moisturizer. So I use Cantu. Of course, you can use anything you like Aunt Jackie Shea Moistures, anything like that. I use this like once a week just to refresh, twice a week just to refresh my hair. Our hair needs moisture. So if we don't have moisture, it just leads to breakage. Breakage then leads to fairy knots. And then you're just going to end up having to cut inches off your hair. I've noticed that I used to get so many fairy knots. They are the absolute demon in hair care. There's nothing good about fairy knots, because if you get a fairy knot on your hair, it's not a major issue, but people recommend to cut it off. It's better to cut it off, because what happens is once the knot actually tangles into hair that you've already grown, and because you've not cut it off, it kind of sets you back, because then it just leads to split ends. And with split ends, you have to cut split ends. So it's best to actually moisturize your hair properly, and then that kind of prevents the fairy knots. So the essential oils, I use peppermint a lot. I use sage oil. You can use things like, so there's sage here. And then I use things like rosemary oil. I've got so many essential oils in my cupboard. And that's something, again, with the essential oils, and that stimulates the scalp. It revives the hair follicles. I don't think it works deeply down the hair like structure, or the scalp structure, but only oils like I mentioned emu oil last week. Oh, hi, away of life. How are you? So yeah, there's certain things that really work down the hair structure, like emu oil. So things like peppermint, they do stimulate, but only to a certain point. So, but it's important to have those anyway. So I'd really recommend those kind of oils. One thing that I do really put in my, oh, thank you. Oh, I hope you're well, Queen. So one thing that I do like to use in my my daily oils, I do a mix. You don't have to do a mix, because sometimes it can be a mission to do those things, to mix everything together. I like to buy applicator bottles, so I'm just killing two birds with one stone. Amla oil. So amla oil is used a lot in Ayurvedic practice. So amla oil is something that is really beneficial in the hair. So amla oil actually reverses grays. It stimulates the hair follicles. I've noticed my hair's become like very dark. My hair used to look a very strange, I can't describe it. It didn't look quite as dark as it does now. It used to look like a lifeless, ashy color, but now it looks like it's actually dark. Amla oil really works for that, and it does reverse things like graying and stuff. I've got like 2 gray strands here. So that's something that I use a lot. I use that in corporation as well with natural, I've forgotten, the natural henna. So with those two together, either mixed together in an oil, works perfectly. So that is something you can incorporate in your routine. With amla, you don't need to use that much. A little goes a long way. I actually bought that bottle probably about 4 months ago. Hi, sweet soul vibes. How are you? So I actually bought that a few months ago, and it's worked really perfectly. So again, these things are for like the long term. It's meant to work where you're actually saving money rather than buying something every month. Not most of those products I bought like a few months ago, especially Genie's oil. That the jar that you buy is absolutely just it'll last you forever. You don't need to use a lot. So I'm kind of going the wrong way actually today. So one thing that I do recommend Jamaican Black Castor Oil. So I'm sure everyone knows about Jamaican Black Castor Oil by now, but this is something that that one is something that you can just use on its own. If you don't want to use like too many oils, go for the Jamaican Black Castor Oil. It works for everyone. Like it literally thickens the hair. It reverses like any kind of like balding and stuff like that. So it acts as its own stimulant. You don't even need to put anything else with it because it is its own powerful formula. I actually know a company that does in one of the groups that I'm in that does Jamaican Black Castor Oil. So I'm actually going to link them in the description, and they do pure Jamaican Black Castor Oil. So I'd say it doesn't have to have that ash in it or anything like that. It doesn't have to be extra dark. It just needs to be Jamaican Black Castor Oil. Apparently, it doesn't really matter how dark or light it is. It has the same benefit, so you're not missing out. But that works wonderfully because it's a very thick texture. You only need a teeny bit. You can use that as a hot oil treatment. So I like to do hot oil treatments every week with a steam cap. I never go without doing a hot oil treatment because I know it's going to benefit my hair growth. So that's the next one. So the last one is my detangling. So my detangling, I always used to have like mad problems trying to detangle my hair and finding the right product. So the one that I use, and I recommend this in my previous video, is Aunt Jackie's Not On My Watch. So this one, the bottle is, it's about 355 ml, which is 12 fluid ounces. This bottle is heavy. You get so much out of it. Again, a little goes a long way. Well, for my hair anyway, because my hair's quite fine. But if someone's got like thicker hair, then maybe you can like get like maybe 2 bottles, and maybe one bottle will last about maybe a month. It just depends. It depends how thick your hair is, how long your hair is. But this lasts me quite a long time. This maybe lasts me about 2 months. So and with this one, it's helped really cut my detangling time. It's helped to like eliminate my breakage and stuff like that. So it's worked perfectly for my hair. Another one I do recommend is Cantu. That one is like a coil calming product. I've got it in my bathroom, but the only thing that I'd say, the only kind of downside to that is their bottle. Their bottles are very hard to use. So that would be the only downside. But Aunt Jackie's, that one's a really good brand. I'd also say, I'm seeing, I use aloe vera as well, fresh aloe vera plant. That's something that might not last you the long term, but I do know 2 other things. So there's one product called Ambunu. That one I've seen a lot. That one's actually an African herb. So that one I've seen a lot, and it actually detangles and stuff like that. There is another one. I think it's chubby powder. I've seen one of the two ladies. So Sherea DelSol, she's used Ambunu, and another lady called Naturally. I always forget her channel, Naturally something. I'll link it in the description. So she does the Ambunu, and I've noticed that they've had those fantastic results with detangling. That's something that's like the staple, the key thing to the hair routine, because once you detangle, then you're actually going through. Hi, Aisha, how are you? So you're actually going through your hair routine smoothly rather than actually having problems. So once you've like kind of gotten past that detangling stage, then it's kind of like easier to get through the whole washing process. So that's what I'd advise. I'm going to link those in the description again. So once you kind of done your whole kind of wash day, yeah, I agree. Amla oil is fantastic. So basically, once you've gotten through that whole wash day, one thing I did forget, how can I forget the deep conditioning part? So I've stocked up on my deep conditioners. Again, I like to use Cantu. I actually had a discussion with my mum about one of the other products she was using, and she had a reaction to it because it had apple cider vinegar in it. Apple cider vinegar is something that has like, it's something that strips nutrients. As a clarifier, I wouldn't recommend. It might work for some, but if you're putting it on your hair and you may be leaving it in, I personally wouldn't recommend it, because it's just like I did a cinnamon oil. I wouldn't leave cinnamon on my oil because that causes long-term burning. Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Ah, okay. So you used to love using apple cider vinegar, and you don't use it now, Miss Rebel Jewel. I hear you. Um, that's something where it's like it's meant to be stripping. I don't know if you'll agree from what you've from when you were using it on your locks. But oh yes, good to cleanse. I'd recommend it to clean, but some products, what they're doing is they're putting it in as a leave-in, and that's just not. I don't think that's that as safe, because I would get a reaction. My hair would actually turn to paper. So I'd say it's very good for cleansing, but maybe not to leave as a leave-in conditioner. So I like to use something where if you're going to use a leave-in conditioner, you can make your own. Like I do recipes that involve coconut oil or avocado oil, so it really keeps that hair moist, a nice mix. So but I do personally stick to one. I don't know if anyone will agree, but I use Cantu. I'm sorry. I'm at the beginning of my journey and it's really helped my hair, but don't go with what I say if you don't like Cantu. Just go with something that you might feel works for your hair, but it's all about keeping the hair moistured. When I notice that my hair feels papery, then that's time for me to like look at other products. But I've really nailed my my routine. I still get that odd clumping of hair, but it's really limited now since sticking to like the basics. So that's like my products. And also I do use supplements. So I like to use things that will keep my hair intact. And then one of those things is omega-3. I use like multivitamins as well. So with these, I've stocked up on these because I noticed that they were selling out at the shop and I was just panicking. I was like, I can't go without my omega-3 because omega-3 is one of the key components in our hair. Omega-3, zinc, and iron. Those are the things that even help people's hairline. I've seen videos where women have lost their hairline through not having zinc, which is pretty scary. So I'd say those are the things that I really like to implement, as well as I do exercise. And so I notice when I do exercise, that helps to keep my hair even more moistured. And then one thing that I do again, I do my hair massaging. So I showed this last week on my last live. I do love to do scalp massages. I do them every day, but I just picked this up recently and then I just use it all the time. It feels so good on my scalp. There are other better scalp massages out there, I'm sure, which I'm going to be looking into. If anyone knows one that's actually black owned, do let me know. If you post it in the comments down below, please do let me know. That's something that I can link every week because I do recommend scalp massages. Those are things that some of the bigger YouTubers recommend. So that's something that I think is important for the hair stimulation and the hair growth. My hairline's really coming back thicker and faster through doing the hair massages. So I do it like in each section. My hair's sectioned into 8. It used to be sectioned into 4, so my hair's like growing more. So I just go in each side and do 1 minute of scalp massaging in each section, and then that's every single day. I don't go a day without doing a hair massage. It just helps my hair get stimulated, basically. So that is it. So and the one thing that I want to talk about, so that's about the hair products and everything like that. So I normally do a hair news part section where I'm talking about things that we've basically heard on the TV. I don't comb my hair every day. What I do, Miss Rebel Jewel, I don't know if you can see, my hair's kind of twisted. And, oh, thank you, Aisha. Yeah, so my hair's twisted. So I literally pin them each side in sections. So I don't know if you can see, here's the first 2 top. And then I don't comb my hair. I don't use combs on my hair at all. I do have brushes. Like I do have like wide tooth combs. The reason I don't comb my hair is because that can lead to breakage. Oh, thank you, Miss Rebel Jewel. The reason I don't comb my hair is because it leads to breakage. It doesn't always, but it's a contributor to breakage. So the more my hands are in my hair, the more that it'll take just longer for my hair to grow. So I always finger detangle. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Oh, that's so good to hear your daughter's watching. Okay, so sweet, so vibes. I have a white tooth sandalwood comb that I use after wash day, but then I'll finger comb after that. That sounds good. That sounds good. So I only use a comb if I really need to. Only if my detangling becomes a nightmare. I use it as a last resort. So I don't do any kind of combing. I do have the right brushes and combs to do it, so I make sure I really invest in my combs and my brushes. I don't really go I don't get them from the certain hair shops. I get them from like certain websites, so I'll link them. But you can get a wide tooth comb from anywhere, but I just recommend finger detangling, because that is what it acts as, a comb. And then once you nail the finger detangling, then you kind of don't notice that you're using your hands as that comb. So I use the comb as an absolute last resort, and it's really worked perfectly. Before, I remember I couldn't go without using a comb. I was like, oh gosh, how am I going to get around this? I used to blow dry my hair quite a lot. I haven't put any heat in my hair actually since July, so I'm still learning to like get out of that routine that I need to put heat or use combs. But I'm noticing the difference since not using either of those. So, and that's been fantastic. So basically, there was, I don't know if any of you had seen, there was something in Sky News where it says, speaks about, because I like to bring up politics as well, I'm sorry. So I like to discuss politics because I think it works hand in hand with the hair movement. There's still a natural hair movement in my eyes. There's still a long way to go. It was called Do We Have a Problem with Natural Hair? So that was something that it kind of brought back memories of like when I was watching it. So it's available on YouTube actually. I'll post it in the description. It's about 10 minutes video, and it actually gives the account of people's experience with natural hair and what they believe. So that was something where it really brought back kind of memories of like the whole natural hair game and how frightening it was to actually be natural, how to contend with society and stuff like that. So that was something where I just like to have that appreciation of actually becoming a natural and embracing it. I know there's many videos going around with people saying that they actually dislike the natural having to do wash days and stuff like that, and just not kind of embracing what they have. But it's just nice to actually, once you put in a routine, once you put in that kind of, because at the end of the day, by the time we spend going to a hairdresser, if we were to put things in our hair, that by the time you do all of that, you could spend that time doing your hair at home. I do recommend, if you do have a natural hairstylist that can do it for you, then fantastic. But I do love to do it at home, and it just actually is more pleasurable. I think it's nice to do it in the comfort of your own home. We're in lockdown at the moment, and just embracing that feeling of you know what, I'm actually doing it myself, and actually saving money, because that's one thing that we do is so important at this day and age. I don't even care how much, if I'm making a little money or a lot of money. I do like to be conscious about how much I'm spending. So I like the fact that I've gone from spending probably hundreds a month to actually probably spending about, I don't know, I probably spend about maybe £30 per quarter. My hair care bill has reduced so much. So I'd really recommend watching that video if you haven't seen it before. It just kind of makes you feel, I felt like I felt happy watching it, because it made me appreciate what I do have. So something that's come out, and I think it's something that is nice, that it's more open, and it's becoming more open that we speak about the natural hair care, because it is something that generates so much money. And if only we knew how much money, it's probably like hundreds. Yeah, I agree. It really is rewarding, sweet so vibes. So it's beautiful seeing the benefits, as you say, as well. It just feels like you're taking on some kind of project. And not only that, it's the actual fact that you look back, and I'm journaling my expenses before, but I like the fact that I can now take ownership of what I'm spending and just really embracing my journey. So that's what I wanted to come to you with today on the hair care news. So I'm going to be putting out I'm going to be bringing out one video on Friday, I believe. That one's going to be kind of in conjunction with what I'd spoken about routine. So I'm going to be coming out with that. No, I will be coming out with 2 videos this week. So one's more of a kind of a routine video, and then the other one's going to be a demonstration. So I will be doing another kind of DIY something. I've already got it a lot easier to make. So my connection's going dodgy. But yeah, I'll be coming out with 2 videos this week. I'm going to try and keep them short and sweet as well, so they're not too long. They'll probably be about maybe 6 minutes or something each, but I hope you can definitely catch them. And thank you everyone that's tuned in today. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.